Hello and welcome to the conclusion of the 2023 Norse Gods Championship presented by Home Again Disc Golf. As always, we'd like to thank our presenting sponsors, Cosmic Disc Golf, D-Town Disc Golf, and Reaper Disc Supply for making this coverage possible. I'm Nathan Johnson, joined in the booth by Dylan Horst. How's it going, Dylan?
I'm nervous. I want to see what happens. It's going to be great. Here we are, hole 10. Now it's a very technical shot off the tee. So you want to throw this pushing hyzer that gets up and over this last wall. Now, the ceiling, there is a decent ceiling here, but the gap is very tight as it gets closer to the green. Lucas here pulls it a little right, banks off one of the last trees, kicks backwards, but still keeps himself inside the circle.
Trying to peer this right-hand side gap. Zach comes in a little early, but gets through those trees very nicely. Leave himself a very short tap-in putt.
And then here we have Matt. Pulls it a little bit to the right. Hits one of the last trees before he gets up and over the wall. Might have something to do with the wind. It seems like the wind's starting to pick up here.
Yeah, could make things interesting here down the stretch if these players are having to deal with some gusts. Jesse, this is a little low. It's going to have to sneak. Might have stuck on the wall. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, yeah, it looks like his is there to the left. Not being as tall as he is. Can't see over the wall. Needs to be a little taller, but gets himself up there. And Jesse has a really interesting putt from here.
Yeah, this is definitely 100% blind. And yeah, just a little right there, unfortunately. Just trying to have to kind of feel where the basket is. Trying to remember. So Lucas, short birdie putt. Yeah, he's not wrong. He's missed a couple, little high, little low. Just isn't quite there, but luckily still does have the lead. So, and not going to drop any strokes here. But just a little off. And a nice birdie there from Zach. Only one on the card on that short par 3. As we head into hole 11, 247 247-foot par 3, I should say, we are playing to the basket on the short side of the creek. You're going to see most players just throw a nice, simple forehand that kind of pushes those backside trees and fades to the right. Hopefully, should be an easy birdie.
I'd say it's a little far. It's testing that OB line. Couldn't tell if it stayed on the edge or not, but yeah, pace was good, just a little too strong. The line was good, pace was a little too strong. As Lucas there, perfect pace, picks the right disc, slammer, won't go that far past.
Matt opting for the thumber. Gets that nice little bounce and stick to keep himself close. This did play as the easiest hole on the course today at a 2.31 average. So especially if you have a backhand, that is the option. Jesse, a little early. It's going to hit and leave him with a no way. Rolls out of bounds. And off the band, that's going to be a bogey for Jesse Longenecker. And a horrible time to drop a stroke.
And Zach, fortunate enough to stay inbounds there to card the birdie. But yeah, very unfortunate because being within 2, coming down the stretch, dropping at least 1 stroke, but it looks like it's going to be 2 because Lucas is pretty much parked.
Yeah, it's going to push the lead to 4, and there are some holes where he can make up some strokes, especially this next hole, hole 12. But other than that, it's going to be tough down the stretch, especially on this shorter layout with a lot of par 3s to make up too much ground.
Since 2021, Home Again Disc Golf has been committed to bringing the highest quality discs, apparel, and accessories to players on and off the course. No matter where you are, when you're on the course, you're home again.
hole 12, par 4, 530 feet. So we're going to be hugging this right-hand side, a majority of the fairway. Most players are going to be throwing a kind of a just dead straight shot, maximum distance shot, or you can kind of play the short gap and kind of chop the hole into two different shots. So two different ways to play this one. You can either throw the long distance shot down this right-hand gap, or you can kind of attempt to do what Zach's doing here, kind of throw something soft. Gives it a little too much power, but puts himself right along the edge to a nice forehand up and over the creek to get him a pretty routine upshot and birdie.
Yeah, the layup is, yeah, like Lucas is doing here, leaves you a pretty, it's a little tricky kind of forehand upshot into the green, but a couple trees you got to miss, but overall pretty straightforward. If you do pure the drive though, through that straight gap that you can see, it is a wide open shot across the creek to get to the basket. So kind of just a preference of where you'd, oh, that looks really nice from Matt if it hangs on. Yeah, I think it did.
Yeah, that looked perfect. And Jesse here, trying to throw a nice layup shot. Nice and flat. Hits the ground. All right. And you just have a couple. So from there, you do have a couple gaps that you have to commit to. So there's a bunch of things that are kind of hanging over the creek. The creek is out of bounds, and there is a road past the basket that we can vaguely see here. So it's a very tiny landing strip of kind of where you have to land on your second shot. But, you know, it's kind of choose your own adventure and what you feel most comfortable with to kind of land in this small little landing strip.
Yeah, Jesse opts for that wide gap, maybe a little too wide. It's going to need some help. Unfortunately, does not get the ground play. It should be a fairly short birdie or par save putt from there, but just another mistake from Jesse, starting to leak strokes here. Strokes that he just cannot afford. Nice shot there from Zach, though, looking to start to make a push here.
And here we have Matt. He's probably, I don't know, 400 feet off the tee. It just has a nice little simple backhand up and over the out of bounds, right underneath it. So kind of paid off. He was a little aggressive off the tee and then got rewarded with an easy upshot.
Yeah, so now here's Jesse from circle 2 again, looking to save the par. Just comes up a bit short.
Yeah, Lucas here to capitalize on that miss. Gives it a little too much juice. Gave it the height, so the commitment was there, but yeah, kind of, I bet nerves kind of got in the way there. Kind of knew that he would have gotten an extra stroke on you know, Jesse, which is his closest competition right now. Gave it a little bit too much.
Yeah, it is worth mentioning Travis Dumbach making a bit of a push from the chase card. We may check in with where he's at later if it comes into play, but for now, Lucas 5 strokes clear of his closest competitor here on the lead card. As we head into hole 13, it's par 3, 237, quite a ways uphill, playing to the short basket on the left-hand side. Most players probably just going to opt for a straight to left fading shot, most likely a right-hand backhand hyzer, although I guess there's a forehand line over here on the left.
Yeah, it seems like you just pull it a little bit out to the left and throw something that kind of pushes straight, and then hyzers would be perfect. Seems like Zach right there. A little bit too far inside, but it seems like you have to throw almost like a hyzer flip down the left-hand side with a forehand, while the backhand seems like almost like a straight hyzer. Just kind of push it straight and then just let the natural stability of the disc kind of pull it to the basket.
Yeah, I'm not trying for that line that I was talking about, just a bit of an early release, catches that right or tree to the left side of the gap. Because he's going to opt for this forehand line as well. Hits it nicely, comes up a bit short, but he will have an inside the circle birdie look.
And Jesse going for the same, probably with looks like his captain's Raptor. Just trying to maybe put a little bit of turn on this, just so it'll push a little straight. Yep. And then get to the ground nice and quick. Little bounce. Perfect. Puts himself within 15.
It's a nice bounce back there. Should be at least. Matt's got to work for this par a little bit, but throws a nice thumber there to get himself up and down. See if Lucas can correct a couple of missed putts in the last few holes. That one looks nice. Dead center. Going to keep that lead at 5.
Zach here trying to convert. Has a nice little string going so far. It's birdied 10, 11, 12, trying to make it 13. Very nice.
Yeah, getting into a nice little groove, starting to make a push. For a strong finish here, Jesse going to have just outside the bullseye. Can see still probably a little frustrated after leaking those strokes on 9, 10, or 9, 11, and 12, I should say, but able to bounce back here. Gets him to 24 under par. Still a lot of work to do, though, here down the stretch if he wants to make a run at this title.
Hole 14, par 4, 506 feet. Another attackable par 4. It's really tough to attack it with the backhand, however, because most of the backhand, kind of like the flight that the drone's going through right now, it's a very specific backhand line, but if you do have a power forehand, it kind of shapes the shot a little better. You can almost throw something straight, have the disc fade, and if you have like a 420, 400 foot back or forehand, it might actually put you in a great spot to actually get this eagle. And Zach here just pushing it straight actually eliminates a lot of the noise by the trees. And he should just have a nice, fairly simple jump putt probably to the basket for his birdie.
Yeah, we've seen some putts on this hole before. I don't think we've ever seen a player connect for the eagle 2. Lucas catches a late tree there. Would have been very interesting to see how far that could have got. He'll have some work to do to get up and down, probably about a tricky 150-foot upshot or so. Jesse's got a big forehand himself. Let's see what he's able to do here.
Yeah, pushes through the inside gap, gets a nice bounce. Yeah, probably a fairly routine upshot from there. You know, might have to carve it around a couple trees, but it's a very good opportunity. And Matt here going with the backhand roller. Like the idea.
Yeah, I like the idea too. Maybe a little too flippy, not quite enough cut on that one. So curls over a little early, but still puts him in a good spot. He can now go out and around the backside of the green. Saws it off a bit, but he will have an uphill birdie look coming up.
And Lucas here trying to throw a nice little crafty shot with the slammer. Hits the last tree next to the basket, probably like 15 feet away. Rolls to circle 2.
Yeah.
Straight uphill.
Tough break. Jesse, just another pretty similar shot to what Lucas had. Able to miss that tree. Keeps him close.
Yeah,
see if Zach wants to give this a little bid.
Very smooth forehand. Ultimate background coming in. Yeah, puts himself to 15. Yeah, very nice forehand. Matt here, a little bit too much height on the putt. Maybe pulls it a little bit to the right as well, trying to make sure you get the juice going up this hill.
Just for his birdie. Nicely done. High, middle, able to connect from circle's edge uphill. Keeps the lead at 5. Assuming that Jesse's able to connect here. About an 18-footer.
Yeah, Lucas's putt's one of those putts where it's the perfect time in the round, right? Where it feels like if you miss that, somebody else might be able to get some momentum coming down the stretch, but you make that, it almost just shuts the door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 5 strokes now with 5 holes to play. Or not 4 holes to play, I should say. Yeah, definitely puts him in a really great spot. If he's able to just maintain, should be able to walk away with this win. But it's not over until it's over as we head into hole 15, par 3, 346 feet. A couple different options here. You can throw a forehand down this fairway where the drone is flying. As long as you just kind of beat these bushes on the left-hand side, should leave yourself with a putt. You can go with a straighter kind of turnover backhand down this fairway as well, or you can test the road right side that is out of bounds. Throw a backhand hyzer. I don't know if we'll see anybody opt for that route today, but it is an option.
Here we have Lucas. Almost looks like he's going for that slight hyzer.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I don't know. If I'm him, I'm throwing another forehand down the left-hand side. Just so much more open, but again, he is 30 under par, so who am I to question him? Zach, he is going to opt for that forehand option.
Perfect. That's not even a skip though. Yeah, that's good. Circle.
A little bit of ground play gets him up into the circle.
Yeah, definitely the forehand's nice because you don't really have to worry about a lot of the ground play. You kind of heard them say that earlier on the card. Just because, it seems like it's just hitting the ground real quick and kind of stopping. That one, little too much air, didn't have enough time to hit the ground. So, one across.
I think that just came out early for Jesse. I don't think he's trying to split those 2 trees there. Just a bit of an early release. Never really had a chance to stay in bounds. Matt, another roller.
Oh, that's pretty good. 35.
Some really great control with that. He's able to just keep it moving straight, get a little bit of right finish at the end.
Yeah, Lucas here. Perfect. Pretty good upshot. Puts himself probably just outside the bullseye. And Jesse here trying to save his par from probably circle's edge. Oh, sneaks and hangs on the right-hand side.
Yeah, nicely done there. Keep himself within striking distance, but again, I'm sure not what he was looking for on this back 9. Just doesn't quite have. Has Matt just a little right?
Yeah, just a little bit too far right. On the Prodigy baskets, there's a lot of chains in the middle, so it's kind of hard when you hit left or right to kind of make sure you have enough like real estate in the chains to kind of slow your disc down to make sure it just falls into the basket.
Zach now after that nice forehand drive, a little closer even than I thought. It's going to bring him to 25 under, into a tie for second place on this card. Got a really nice back 9 going. Is that like 6 birdies in a row?
Yeah. Yeah, he's got the 6-pack.
Nice. Double turkey.
It's a great string of holes to get. Coming down the stretch in this B tier. Watch out. Hole 16, par 3, 337 feet. Now we do have to watch the hills does slope left to right. Kind of saw right there the drone show the basket on the right-hand side. So some players will be throwing the forehand, kind of like a little S shot to kind of throw straight. It'll turn over on the left-hand side and then kind of finish right. But since the ground kind of goes from left to right, as soon as the disc starts fading, it's just going to go rocket ship down the hill, and there is a path down there pretty far to the right. Zach there kind of saws it off a little bit, doesn't get enough push forward to get past those last few guardian trees, so hits and kind of drops a little short. It's going to be pretty hard to kind of keep his birdie streak going.
Yeah, this is the kind of hole that you can kind of just try to throw a forehand straight, and just the disc will naturally work its way down the hill. Lucas just a little underturned there, catches a late tree. You might be thinking, why don't these guys just throw big spike geysers out and around? There is a Mando that you can see on that tree up there on the right-hand side. So can't just go around all those trees. You do have to throw up the gut.
Yeah, Jesse, you're trying to force over his forehand to kind of pull left. Seems like it's a little fortunate through the last tree and kind of puts himself to circle 2. Kind of put that road a little bit into play, but still gives him an opportunity to kind of get that birdie and then, kind of finish his round strong.
This comes out a little right from Matt, but looks like it's getting sneaky. He's going to leave himself out there near Jesse in a circle 2 look, maybe a little obstructed with that large tree in the way. We'll see if they do have any sort of putt. Ooh. Not a great upshot there from Lucas. Going to leave him with a bit of a tester to save his par. Zach got a pretty similar upshot coming in, probably just looking to lay this one up. And he does it nicely.
That was an excellent layup. And then Matt here, circle 2, trying to give it a good bid.
Oh,
what a shot.
Wow. Around the tree. Bends it in. That was filthy.
It's so good. From deep in circle 2. Wow. He's been all over the basket, so it's nice to see one going for him.
Oh, and Jesse matches him. 50 back-to-back 50-footers.
I guess that's the landing zone. I guess that's where you need to go.
Apparently. Apparently I've been playing this hole all wrong. Lay it up, 60 short right. Cash the circle 2 putt. Wow.
Let's see if Lucas here can convert on his par. Like you said, a little bit obstructed with that big tree, but seemed like he had a fairly open gap.
Maybe a little double big putt action there. Gets Lucas. He's going to drop 2 strokes to Jesse. So just when you thought this thing might be over, it is far from over. 3 strokes now with 2 to play. Got Jesse at 26 under. And like I mentioned, Travis Dunbach starting to make a push as well from the chase card. He is in that 25 under range. So we'll see what happens here down the stretch. We are on hole 17, par 3, 350 feet. Kind of over a bit of a gully. You're going to see most players, if you have it, throw the straight to finish forehand, or you might see a just kind of straight left to right drifting backhand as well. Whatever you've got that gets the distance.
Yeah, it almost feels like the last hole where you're trying to throw something with a little bit of left to right movement, but then has that integrity at the end. Jesse there throws the same disc, kind of pulls it a little bit too much left, gives it a little bit too much right to left movement. Hits the last tree, still puts himself in the circle 2, though. So, see if that putter's still hot.
Matt, obviously not a forehand guy, a little too far for the thumber. He's going to go with that straight, slightly turning backhand. Lands it nice and flat. Gives himself a 20-footer for the birdie.
Zach here trying the forehand again. There's the power hyzer this time, trying to skip straight. It's one of the last trees coming in. It was a little bit too much integrity to get past that final tree. So it's probably going to be around circle 2 edge.
Yeah, needed a little flip up out of that disc, I think, if he wanted to truly get the birdie look. Lucas kind of overturns this one. It's going to leave himself in deep circle 2 as well. But Zach's up first here. Uphill from about 60 feet. Ooh. Good effort. Just a bit off.
And Lucas here, I mean, he's up by 3 with 2 to go. This is definitely one you want to get to slam the door shut. But doesn't quite give it enough height to kind of get it there. And Jesse here with an opportunity to pull in another stroke.
He sneaks it in. 27 under par now for Jesse Longenecker. 2 strokes with 1 hole to play. Weirder things have happened.
Yeah, definitely making things exciting. A couple holes ago, 5 strokes, but now 2 strokes. It's getting interesting. Then Matt there, great birdie, puts himself, 20 feet away. Excellent.
So tap in par here for Lucas. Keeps himself at 29. Like you said, we've got 2 strokes going in to our final hole of the tournament. Let's see if Lucas can close it out.
And rounding it out, hole 18, par 3, 275 feet. Most players here are going to throw the forehand. Right-handed players are going to throw a forehand into this uphill sloped green. You'll probably throw a mid-range, something maybe a captain's raptor that Jesse might go with, or maybe even a zone. But you need something that pushes straight and then has that integrity at the very end to skip up the hill to put yourself in position.
Yeah, I think he's going justice, nice and overstable. Hard to get all the way up the hill, like you said, because of that slope, but gives himself a putt at it. Matt, tricky backhand line. Overturned the oh no, oh yes throw. I think it snuck most of the way through at least. Should leave him a long look.
And here's Zach throwing something. I think it's a stable mid that he's been throwing all day. Perfect. Kind of puts himself right up against that log, probably within 25 feet, 20 feet. That'd be a great way to finish out your round. Get a nice birdie on this one.
Sure. Now Lucas going to that trusty slammer that he has been throwing so well all weekend. Skips it a little long. That's a tricky putt on a tricky green. We will see if he wants to give it a run. Because if he does par, he does take this thing home. So see what he opts to do. Oh, Matt. One last thumber for the fans. Nice scramble shot there to give himself a short look at the par.
And here's Jesse to put the pressure on Lucas. Pulls it a little right. Unfortunately. Yeah, Lucas can just lay it up, but it's not what he wants. He wants to finish with the birdie. What we want to see.
Finishes nice and strong. A nice even 30 under par for this 3-round tournament is a really strong score. And a really strong tournament. I'm sure Lucas thinks he left some strokes out there on the putting green, but overall threw the disc really well all weekend long and definitely deserved to take this one down.
And Zach here to finish out his round with a nice birdie. Very nice. Zachary there shooting, I think it was 10 down.
Yeah, really solid.
It's kind of sneaky. Got that 6-pack in the middle and then, never got a bogey. It was good.
Yeah,
then
super
Matt
smooth,
there.
bogey free. Nice round from Matt. Jesse's going to tap in a second place finish. 27 under par as we head to Eric Hess for the trophy presentation.
Second time lifting this trophy above his head. Last year it was a playoff with Phil and Horst. I think these tournaments mean a little more to Lucas. And you didn't get the White Rose Open, you didn't get the Disc Golf Open of Pennsylvania. Bared down, it wasn't easy. You were behind Jesse, it was a battle all weekend. But you kept your composure, and you are the MPO Norse Gods champion, Lucas Oberholtzer Hess.
Yeah, there's a reason these events are special to me. Thank you to Eric and Kayla and Emily for everything they do. Travis for everything at Shiprock. Jesse, was a great battle. I look forward to so many more. Yeah, thanks everyone for being here and supporting Eric's events. It's a blast. Take it to West Side too. Thank you.
Congratulations to Lucas Oberholtzer Hess, back-to-back Norse Gods Championship champion. Jesse Longenecker in second place, and Travis Dombach and Zach Tesone in a tie for third. Got to take another look at that sick putt of the round from Matt Rosier for the birdie on hole 16. Nice 60-footer. Thank you to the Norse Gods for supporting this coverage, as well as the Patreon family. We appreciate you all so very much. Without you, this coverage would not be possible. And make sure to subscribe, folks. We got so many more great tournaments coming this year. You're not going to want to miss any of them. I promise you that. We will see you next time.